All right, welcome back here. So the next one I want to cover is heat maps. I'm going to save the daily average sales for last here. So I've got heat maps. I've got the same data. If you notice, all of these have the same data, but we're going to do different things to it. Now what a heat map is a data visualization technique that shows strength and weakness, or it shows diversity among your data. Okay, so we've used these already in various ways, and it's very simple to use. Now, I want to show you two different techniques. I favor one over the other, and I'll explain why. We could do this one here. Like, we could grab all of our data, and go up to conditional formatting, go to color scales, and then pick, the intensity one right here. Okay? So we've got green is good, red is bad. Now, what I want you to note here is pancakes are all green. Okay? Their numbers are extremely high. So if you're looking at this in terms of, I want to know out of all of my products here, which ones are the best, then you would do what we just did where we grabbed all this data. Okay? Now I want to show you what happens when we don't do that and we do one after the other. So I'm going to grab just this row of data, go up to conditional formatting, color scales, and I'm going to do it again for each of these. Okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, pause the video, and just do one after. Okay, and I'm back. And now you can see that pancakes are not all green anymore. And the reason for that is when you set up your color scales just to look at pancakes, it's going to look at the variation in the sales data for just pancakes. It's not going to compare it up here to tea or milk or bagels or toast or coffee. It's only comparing it against itself. Okay? So just in contrast, let's bring back the original data here that we had. So now we're back. And you can see here where, again, like we did at the beginning, pancakes are all green. That's because we made this heat map based on all of the data across all the products. So I wanted you to look at this for perspective. Okay? If you are looking and you want to know which of your products are the worst products out there, then you would grab all this data, and clearly the red products up here are your worst performers, tea and milk. That's great information to use. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. It depends on your goal. Now, if you just wanted to look at your products individually to see which times of the year they're hot or cold, then you can do so by doing an individual color scale for each row. Okay? So you can see here very useful information where, wow, pancakes are like awesome here. Or they look awesome, but they're red. And they're red because you've got some really good numbers here, right? So it's very useful to do it either way depending on your objective. If you're just looking for the seasonality of when your pancakes are doing fantastic, or your coffee is doing fantastic, or perhaps tea is not your winner, right? We already know tea is the product that, tea or milk, they're bad products, or at least they have low revenue compared to their peers. But if you look at it this way, in the first chart, it's all red, so we're basically saying, man, milk is the worst performer across the board against all products. But what we're saying down here is, wow, January is the worst performing month for milk. So I want you to think about that. You might have to pause the video or rewind the video for the last 30 seconds here. But two different things are happening here. Wow, milk is horrible in January. Or milk is the worst product out of all of them, depending on which heat map you're looking at. But the overall point with heat maps is quick information to give somebody just a quick visual on what's going on with their business. Okay, so that's heat maps, very useful in business.